The enemy soldiers held wooden sticks, ready to intercept the fast-approaching train. But the next second, the train crashed into the wooden sticks, flinging the enemy soldiers onto the train. He escaped by holding onto the chimney, but the next moment, his hands were smoking from the heat. To prevent the enemy from stealing the national treasure, a soldier hid in a pile of coal and suddenly launched an attack. After taking down 3 enemy soldiers, he quickly set up a machine gun and fired at the pursuing enemies until all the bullets were gone. Just then, someone tried to sneak attack from behind. The soldier grabbed an enemy, tore open his clothes, and just caught a grenade thrown over. Then he pushed the enemy off the train, turned around, and knocked the sneaking enemy off the train. At that moment, the enemy's fighter plane rushed over. Because the pilot was highly nearsighted and couldn't tell friend from foe at all, he directly sprayed bullets at the train. When he saw he had killed his teammates by mistake, the enemy pilot immediately turned around, dived toward the train again, and fired madly with a machine gun. Sensing the danger, the soldier set up his machine gun and fired at the enemy fighter. The fighter quickly pulled away, adjusted the firing angle, and charged toward the soldier again. But the next second, its fuel tank was hit. The tail of the fighter smoked thickly, and it directly crashed into the train, making the enemy soldiers on the train scream in pain from the fire. Then the soldier quickly unfastened the carriage connections, separating from the burning carriage. But unexpectedly, the enemy pilot wasn't dead. He climbed out of the plane and tried to sneak attack, but the next second, the plane exploded suddenly, blasting all the enemy soldiers away. In this way, the soldiers successfully retrieved the national treasure. To transport the national treasure out of the enemy-occupied area, the soldier found nearby villagers and entrusted one villager to pull the national treasure to the village and hide it, planning to transport it back to the base after the war. Soon, the villager used a donkey to pull the national treasure and started walking toward the village. Just then, he suddenly heard someone shouting for help. The villager listened carefully and found that it was actually the national treasure speaking. He was so frightened that he fell to the ground. When he opened the box, he found a girl hiding inside and a golden Buddha statue. The villager saved the girl and continued pulling the national treasure toward the village. To get the national treasure, the enemy sent all their forces to intercept the villager. But on the way, they were blown up by landmines. Helpless, the enemy commander ordered soldiers to lie on the ground to clear mines. However, the villager who returned to the village encountered the enemy soldiers clearing mines. Could the national treasure still be protected?